The land is dead, the well is dry, and the debts are mounting. For brothers Santram and Arvind, years of labor have yielded a barren farm and the threat of starvation. Facing a slow demise at the hands of creditors, they drop their tools and walk away. They head into the dense woods, hoping a rumor about a city on the other side offers a path to survival. They don't make it to the city. Deep on the forest floor, half buried under dead leaves, they stumble upon two artifacts, one mask of pure white and another of pitch black. Even as Arvind warns of dark magic, an unnatural gravity takes hold. Their hands move against their will, pressing the glowing artifacts to their skin until the masks fuse with their faces. In their rush to escape poverty, they grabbed a promise of power. But in seeking a shortcut to survive the world, they surrendered the basic human capacity to choose. The masks operate as a rigid behavioral algorithm, a set of rules that governs the brothers' nervous systems and dictates every action they take. This diagram illustrates the mechanism of the shortcut. The input of external power skips the node of human choice. The result is automated action, separate from conscious thought. Overcoming a harsh environment has little meaning if the cost of victory is the very free will required to experience it. Back in the village, Arvind's personality vanishes into the black mask. His warmth and brotherhood dissolve into something cold and calculated. He is suddenly flooded with power and unshakable confidence. He feels no hunger and no fear of the local moneylenders, shielded from any sense of vulnerability. When a villager drops a sack of grain in his path, Arvind threatens the man and demands free food from merchants, showing no remorse. This chart tracks the shift in his behavior. A biological drive for self-defense moves into a red zone of tyranny, and the connecting line to empathy snaps. As the tyranny node pulses, it pushes away surrounding connections, leaving him totally isolated. Total invulnerability is an isolating force. When strength is divorced from human connection, it functions as a prison. Meanwhile, Santram wears the pure white mask. It appears to be a blessing of light, offering comfort to the village. Instead, he is deteriorating. He hands his last piece of bread to a beggar, even as his own body reaches the point of collapse. This is the paradox of compulsive goodness. Santram is aware he is starving, but his limbs move against his will to serve others, ignoring his own biological need to survive. This diagram shows the logic of the white mask. A loop of compulsive altruism drains energy out of the central node until it flashes a warning of depletion. Forced altruism offers no moral weight. It is a violation of autonomy that destroys the self as effectively as acts of cruelty. These two behavioral algorithms are built on uncompromising logic. A program of absolute purity is hardwired to track down and eliminate a program of absolute malice. The code executes its final sequence at the village pond, drawing the two masked figures into a violent physical clash. Their bodies hurl strikes and counterstrikes, fighting to fulfill the rules of their moral programming and overriding the lifelong bond between the two brothers. Beneath the glowing masks, the brothers are trapped. They grip each other's throats, terrified by their own actions, unable to control their own muscles. When behavioral rules are enforced as absolute laws, human love and relationships are treated as collateral damage. The algorithms push them to a breaking point, locking their hands in a fatal grip that threatens to destroy them both. But beneath the programming, their shared history and exhaustion spark a rebellion. A buried human voice rejects the power and the forced goodness, demanding the return of their brother. They force fingers under the porcelain and shadows. With agonizing exertion of will, they break the magic's grip, tearing the masks from their skin. Exhausted and free, they cast the artifacts into the pond, watching the rigid algorithms sink into the murky depths. Breaking free from a perfectly controlled system requires stepping back into the messy, painful reality of human imperfection. Recovering on the shoreline, Santram recognizes that an act of kindness has no weight if he lacked the option to refuse it. Authentic virtue requires the overlap of two circles: positive action and free will. This intersection represents growth. Virtue isn't a fixed state, but the repeated, difficult choice to do the right thing despite the cost. The brothers turn back toward the village. The drought remains, and their debts are still waiting. They return to the same poverty they tried to flee, but they return as themselves. Facing life's harshest realities with the agency to choose your own path is the only authentic way to exist.